So, man, we're live on the Facebook and YouTube. Peace, peace, peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and you're tuned into the Power of Ownership podcast. Got my guest host, Steven Contreras, in the building as well.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Yes, sir. And, yep, so we're officially live on. Anytime you hear that cha-ching,
I know.
we're
it's
officially
funny.
live on
Okay.
YouTube. So let's go ahead and start the show off and with the introductions, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon. I'm a serial entrepreneur, mortgage broker, published author. My book, Sales the Nucleus of Any Profession. I got to plug it every time. It's out right now on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. My second book will be out real soon. Coming this summer, sometime this summer. It's a little bit delayed, but it'll be out soon. I have a couple other things to promote as well. If you need a mortgage, because we're swamped right now, everybody's buying, go to www.hocmortgage.com. Now's a great time to buy. Everybody was kind of sluggish during the spring, even though I was swamped, but we are seriously, a lot of people are buying right now. So now's a chance to get your house, your dream house, so on and so forth. If you need me for mentorship, sales training, so on and so forth, motivational speech, whatever, go to www.bnloanofficer.com. I got another site coming out real soon called Billionaire Mind State, and I got something special coming out for y'all soon as well. So yeah, I'm not going to reveal it yet till we get some more details on it. We get a little bit further in the project. So billionairemindstate.com. I just secured the domain. 832-775-8357. You can call me 24/7 and at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. So if you follow me on Facebook, with my 50,000 followers on Facebook, 5,000 friends, I need you on Instagram. If you same thing, if you follow me on Facebook, I need you on YouTube at Billionaire Loan Officer on YouTube. Follow me. Same thing with the gram. If you're on the gram, follow me. I need you to follow me on YouTube. So I need to cross this bridge. I got sporadic followings, So
Yeah.
last thing, if you like what we're doing, Cash App us. The Power of Ownership Cash App. You like what I'm doing, you want to keep us going, you want to see more guests, hosts, and more guest stars at the Power of Ownership Cash App. Steve, I'm going to let you go in, and then let's get to the topic.
Hey, guys, Steven Contreras here in Houston, Texas. I'm a geologist. I like to travel the world, seeing how everything is. I'm kind of like a Renaissance man, studier of the arts and sciences. I work in the health insurance business. I do a whole bunch of just things, trying to always better myself, trying to help you guys get better, and maybe try to learn something new. That's the goal. Try to teach and learn something new every day. So.
Gotcha. And tell them where you can find you. They can find you on social media.
Yeah, Steven Contreras on Facebook and Steven_Contreras_90 on Instagram.
Gotcha. One other thing I want to plug before I get started. Also, the comments are up and functional. So y'all guys want to comment on either Facebook or YouTube live. Some of the comments, y'all want to ask any questions. Some of the comments I'll read live. So go ahead and comment, hop in the chat room, so on and so forth. That's all live. I'm gonna be reading those comments as we go live. If I'm speaking, I might read them in certain segments. I might read them all toward the end. So, but y'all start commenting in the comment section. Let's keep it going. All right, so let's start off with the introduction to the show and let's get it started. We're right at the 4-minute mark, exactly where we need to be. So we getting good at this. I don't even have to time myself anymore. The Power of Ownership podcast, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we talk about ownership of not only businesses, properties, intellectual property, so on and so forth, but we also talk about ownership of the mind, body, and soul. So we kind of bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen realm. So we give you occult knowledge and different things to help you bring things into fruition into this third density realm. One of the things that's been a hot topic this week, and that's been all throughout the news and probably on everybody's consciousness and everybody's mind frame, is the protests and stuff that's going on. And I just did a little bit of reflection, whether it's real or unreal, whether it's distraction or non-distraction. It is an opening for us to take some control and do some of the push an agenda through, even if it might be a distraction. Who's to say what's what? What you see what might not be what you thinking what it really is. You got what I'm saying? So, but we can use this opportunity to push an agenda through. So the actual topic today is real protests. And before I get to the subtopic, I looked up the etymology of the word protest, and it's a 14th century French word. It comes from the origin of pledge. It means to pledge. It means to pledge to do something that's going to change society or change the norms. So my thing is, instead of going out in the streets marching, destroying your own community that you pay for with your tax dollars and stuff like that, let's protest to our pledge to support the businesses and the entities that support us. So if you don't support us, then we can't support you, is the subtopic. And what I mean by that is that we need to take the power into our own hands and start getting ownership of our own communities again. And what I mean by that is that the businesses that you patronize, you got to start holding them accountable for contributing to your causes that you care about. If your why is not the same as that person's why or that business why, then you shouldn't be doing business. It's your option. The problem is we do business with people that don't care about our community. They're taking that money and going straight out of the community and spending it with other people that don't have our best interest in mind. And Stephen Contreras and I, despite us being cosmic citizens, which we understand, which we're, a part of, but while we're in this flesh, people judge us by this appearance, and we're leaders of the quote unquote Black and brown community. Sad to say, they judge us by our appearance, but what it is. So if you're not supporting our community, then we can't support yours. You get what I'm saying? I'll let you go in on that and we're going to elaborate. We'll go in on this.
Yeah, so just prayers to everyone out there, just peace and love. We got to try to spread, the love for everybody. That's what it is. I hate to see protests in the streets and buildings on fire and people getting hurt for injustice and non-injustice too. It's just sad. Any day that you just see people mourning and pain and grieving and just the overall horrible emotions that humans can display is it's just real sad. So I just want to start off the show with just peace and love to everyone out there. We all have to share this world, on this plane, on this earth, and we don't have to fight each other. It doesn't make any sense to fight each other. We're all here together as one, and it's always sad to see when we can't work together as a team, as individuals, as communities, and as people, because we're just human, So that's my opening monologue for you, Brandon. I just wanted to get that off my chest, and so I agree. I agree with what you're saying. That the problem is like I've been around some of the poor communities, just observing and watching it. And it kind of shocks me in a way to see that how none of the money can stay in the community, like you said. And I do think that's a really good idea to try to keep the money in the communities because it's leaving. So I guess a good way to look at it instead of, like I said, protesting is try to build up the communities, keep the wealth in the communities, small businesses. Banks are going to have to approve the loans for small businesses and the lower income communities. That's one of the first real steps to getting things better in those areas. And just education. Trying to educate. Because you can't run a business if you're not educated. So you have to want it. You have to want it. You want to self-train, keep the money in. The people who are running businesses open up, organizations and community buildings, fundraisers, food banks and things like that, just to keep everything going. It makes a lot of things better when everyone works together. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, Brandon, but
Well, just an open opinion. I hadn't asked any questions yet, but again, I think, like I said, we don't have to rely as much on banks and handouts if we simply take a stand and say, I'm going to spend my money with people that have my best interest in mind. And even if it's looking like me or not looking like me, I want to see tangible evidence. If you hold these businesses accountable, just like just like the LGBTQ community, we could do the same thing. Holding these businesses and entities accountable for contributing to our cause. Even media outlets. I want positive, better images and programming of people that look like me, or we're going to boycott. We're not going to spend any money with your network. We're not going to spend any money with your service, your streaming service. It's simple. You boycott with your dollars. So same thing with, and then it's going to take a generation or so.
I'd say, yeah.
But the thing is, if we start spending money with people that have our best interests, that next generation, now we have a certain a block, a voter block, a building block. Say, hey, we got this money, and without this money, you're not going to be able to get into the black. You need our dollars in order to be profitable, to be a profitable business. So now these people are going to pander to our needs. You see?
Yeah, it's I know what you're saying, because the movie of the Black Panther from Marvel, right? So it's a great movie. Historically, great. The cultural references are great. They did a really good job. One of my favorite movies, honestly. The symbolism is amazing. The reason I bring it up is it was one of the highest grossing movies of all time, Black Panther. It just shows you that the money is out there for people to be working together, and be able to spend and gain and earn those dollars,
Right. And I told you, like I told you last show, I'm gonna start once we start getting a lot of people in the room, don't forget to like and click the heart buttons and subscribe, hit the like buttons. So I'm gonna start promoting that periodically through the show. If you're watching us, hit the like button, hit the heart buttons, comment, stuff like that. Hit the like buttons, period. I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more in the show, because people, don't forget that that little small thing. It only takes a fraction of a second to do, and what it does for us, it boosts our placement, especially on YouTube. So it boosts the placement. So hit the like button, hit the heart button, comment, subscribe, so on and so forth. But again, all we have to do, and I said this in the 8th, instead of protesting, instead of outrage, we simply, as far as police brutality, this is real simple. And I know it might be complex to some people, but all we need to do is put a lien on that particular bond for that officer, that policyholder, that peace officer. Once enough of your officers in your particular precinct or district or whatever, however they structure them, get enough liens and get enough debt, then that particular insurance holder will deem that particular precinct too risky, and they're not going to be able to cover them. So that's when you get real change in. So let's put the liens on them. Because what happens is now you get into the situation where the 13th Amendment, the Dred Scott case, that's why you're not getting any legal ramifications for what they're doing. Because technically, if you're under the black thing, you're under the black laws, then you're 3/5 of the man and you're rid of chattel property. So you're not going to get justice that way. So sue them and get under there, do it legally, and then that way we have more power. But even that, if that's too complex, you could simply withhold your dollars of people that don't have your best interest in mind. Do y'all know where Target is spending their money? Do you know where the stockholders of Target are spending their money? Do you know where the stockholders of Walmart are spending their money? Or Amazon?
Okay.
Huh?
What?
Well, I'm talking about,
Yeah.
each individual stockholder, you know where their money's going?
No.
Exactly. Does Walmart have any charity or any foundation set up to help facilitate some of the communities to help what's the word I'm looking for, to help subsidize some of the tax dollars that's not being there in these schools? Why are these schools falling apart and we shopping at Walmart every day?
Yeah.
What is Walmart doing to help these schools that's falling apart? So why are you spending your money with them if they're not doing this? There's no reason that schools should be falling apart in the US of A. This is the richest nation. This is a corporation. So this is one of the richest entities that's out there. So why do we have schools that's falling apart?
Yeah, it's true.
You see what I'm saying? So so hold these people accountable. Don't spend your dollars with them that if they don't do anything for our community. Simple. Same thing with any barber. I give you an example with me. This happens to me all the time. I did this in the APE. I said this in the APE. I hate to repeat myself. I'm gonna get you a question here in a second, but I'm just testifying right now. People come to me all the time because I'm one of the most knowledgeable loan officers out there. Especially people that look like me. We got to stop this. Come to me, juice me for all my answers and stuff like that, and then go spend their money with somebody outside the community. What are we doing? That's like me giving you a haircut. I line you up and everything. Then right before I finish up, before I put the alcohol on your neck, you hop in somebody else's chair and then give him the bread.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. Yeah.
What are we doing? You see, so we got to, and it all stems from the self-hatred. You don't want to see somebody that looks like you. You're scared that he's going to pass you by, so you don't want to put the money in his hand. We got to stop that. We got to pledge to and trust ourselves that putting our money in people that look like us hands, that we're going to put it back in the community and become more communal and then better our community. That's one thing we stop. I was just watching a documentary on Hinduism. And I know I'm getting in the weeds right here, but it is and Shakeism. You know about Shake?
The Quakers?
Not the Shakes.
Mm-hmm.
So one of their fundamental things is that you can't make it to what is it, Morkat, which is oneness with the most high, with everything being me.
That's true.
So I felt that because we're so individual and we're so selfies and look at me and everything's me in the society, and everything is, if it doesn't have anything to do with me on a personal level, we're not on a communal sense. And that's why, how you going to drive in a BMW you got potholes every other step.
Another good one would be like giving money to a homeless man, even though he's going to go buy drugs, right? Just on how he looks,
Right.
And most people wouldn't give the dollar to the homeless man because they know that he's going to go waste it, right? And so that's actually selfish because that's judgment on you judging that person, like entitlement in a way. And so you should always, if someone's asking for money, you should always give it to them, even if they're not going to spend it in the right place. You have to always try to help, and that's being selfless, even it's not going to go anywhere, but you made that person's day better. That's true selflessness.
More than that, give to the mission. Go to the mission and volunteer your time and serve some food, or go to the mission and donate some money where they have some hot, warm blankets or whatever, hot food or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, when you see someone on the side of the road, begging.
Right. I mean, or if you already gave the mission, like, hey, if you want a hot shower, boom, go around the corner. And the mission, I just gave some money there. They got hot food and shower, whatever.
Yeah, but you have to realize they don't care, though, a lot of them.
Right. Well, this is the thing, like I said, the question I have is, what can you do? Give us some pragmatic things that you can do to help keep whole businesses accountable for supporting our cause, making their why our why. How can we do that? What's some pragmatic ways?
I think marketing, right? If you have to be able to market, like you say, watch Netflix and you see all these shows about just different stereotypes in the Black and brown community. You have to, if you want to sell a product or you want to help your own business, you have to market yourself, brand yourself in a way that is different than how everyday people see, the stereotypes, I guess.
Right. So, but the question is, how can we hold these businesses accountable? What's some ways that we could do to hold them accountable for spending money with us?
I guess, not spend money like you said. Let's see. I don't know. Invest in one of their competitors. Things like that.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of thing I was hoping they do with the Democratic Party this time. Hey, listen, if y'all, well, we're gonna go ahead and vote somewhere else. If you libertarian or something, but if y'all, you don't come with it, we need a specific agenda. I would say I want to know specifically. I don't want to know this overall some gloss. I want to know specifically what you're about to do with this community right here.
Yeah, the problem is
Yeah. It goes back to chapter 1 of my book. It was reciprocity, and I talk about if you do something nice for someone, they in turn feel obligated to do something nice for you, and it's something. It has to be significant, personal, and unexpected. It has to be significant. So if they're not doing something significant for my community, some people that look like me, then I can't spend my money with you. It is simple. We just need to have some discipline on our end and talk to the owners, talk to the managers. What are you doing specifically to help Black and brown communities? Yeah. If nothing, walk out. Simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and there are good examples of cities that do good work. Like, you always hear the rumors of Louisiana being corrupt. I mean, New Orleans is a generally pretty well-off town. Same with Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the best cities in the country, and so. People have made mistakes like in Detroit, where the whole city collapsed, and then well, hopefully we can learn from these things, how can we do a better job of, keeping the money, spending the money in the right hands, and getting people to be held accountable for when they say they're going to help and they don't, because that's where you have to draw the line is like, how many times can they say, yeah, and then nothing ever happens.
Right. Well, how many times then they say that they're going to support and you still support them? Why in everything else we do that we need some type of form of reciprocity, but none when it comes to business? I don't get it, especially with females. Females, you want a guy to at least take you to lunch before you try to hop in the sack with you, right? So why is these businesses that don't care about your community, why are they earning your business? How are they earning your business? Why are you giving them your money and they're not helping you at all? I don't get it. So, but any other thing, you're going to want some type of reciprocity involved for you to jump. But just because they have a bag that you think is cute, you're going to spend money with them. Yeah, and this is part of the problem.
Superfluities, right?
Right. So sacrifice that bag. I know the bag you think is cute or the dress you think is cute, but what is Forever 21 doing for our community? What is Rainbow or whatever shop that you're about to go to? You have to hold these people accountable. As simple as that. And once we start doing that, that's when the real change is going to come. At least some money going to start rolling in, and we can distribute this money and then fix these roads. We can fix these schools. We can fix these, have extracurricular activities. Daycare and all this stuff here paid for, even as far as getting our own police force. That's what I want to ultimately see is our own private security. Our own police force that we pay for details that, hey, you're here paid by us to protect this neighborhood and patrol this neighborhood. And I want to hear yes, sir, no, sir, and all this stuff here to every citizen.
Yeah. And what I want to see most is honestly the historical aspect. You know, the education in the textbooks. You know, I think that's like long term. You know, like if they can start rewriting, you know, adding, not rewriting, but adding more things into the education process. And like, you know, there's been a lot of successful, I guess, you know, African American, Mexican American, you know, heavily melanated people in the world, you know, that have done great things, you know, even include like the Moorish Empire being one of the largest empires in the whole world. You know, they don't teach that kind of stuff in modern
Well,
day America, you know.
well, I don't know if they're going to teach that type of stuff because that's going to be now you start to unravel the programming. But I would say, as far as the extracurricular, we could. I don't know if the primary school system, education system would change, but we could supplement it if we had the dollars that was there. And in fact, I came out with I hate giving business ideas on it. This oozes out of me, but I had another. I'm not even gonna give it up. I'm gonna kind of hint around it, but it was something to that effect where we get these kids and we teach them life things like the balance of checkbook, how to mannerisms, how to pronounce stuff on a menu, pull your pants up, stuff like that. And it's an after school program where we teach them life things, not just curricular things, like not just history things. It's stuff that's societal things, so and that's a course. And then once you graduate this academy, you could the police know that you're an outstanding citizen, so you can rock these jackets or whatever, so the police know if you're a graduate that you're the real deal, so they can distinguish you from anybody else.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, just etiquette, you know, social, norms.
Right. So
I think that's good. You know, I think school honestly doesn't even teach just regular how to do all that kind of stuff. You know,
well, school doesn't even teach sales. I don't even know when school was taught, and when we did the speeches at that school the other day. That's what I kept asking for. We were talking to the kids. You remember, right? I'm like, why there's no sales? There's no sales. There's no finance for schools. You know, schools teach you right now the bare minimum to be a good worker.
Yeah, and they're heavily focused on science and technology. You know, like at least a lot of the schools they're like focusing on robotics. A lot of robotics programs all across the country.
Right. So, but we need to have something to where it's a extracurricular, something that's it coincides with the regular curriculum, but it's after school that we teach them societal norms or societal things that help you benefit in society. Simple stuff, and believe that'll go a long way. A lot of kids just don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing they learn from is from the TV, and the TV they mostly gonna watch foolishness. Mm-hmm. And so you wonder why they act a fool. It's because you're mimicking the TV, and then mimicking the stuff they see around them.
Yeah, and then once they get older and realize, like, oh man, then they start blaming the system, and then the system fails them. You know?
Right. So if we implement something in the system that, hey, this is how you properly wear your pants, this is how you tie. I had to, shout out to my cousin Zach. He's almost 30 years old. Well, he's 30 years old now, but I had to teach him how to tie a tie at 30. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. The educational system failed. How can you get a job and you don't know how to tie a tie?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the root issue is how can we better educate everybody?
Right.
Because then that's where the money starts to flow. Like if everyone starts getting not educated, but just learning like just basics. That's what.
Well, the basics that they teach, you got to be honest, it's more of a white supremacist type deal. They want you to. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Come on,
it's not true. Yeah,
which is not true. That they spend time teaching that type of stuff instead of the basic. Hey, how to tie a tie, how to open the door for a lady. How to balance a checkbook, how to actually grow your money, how to actually keep money. financial responsibility. No, buying a home.
Mhm.
I mean, I get people daily that don't know the first thing, that don't know you have to apply for a loan in order to buy a home. How's you going to buy it?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then you have to have some money saved up to get the
Right.
loan.
So
Yeah.
we don't know the first thing about buying a home. We don't know how home mortgages work. We don't know how the secondary market work. We don't know how stock people. So many people, I can't believe it. Oh, the stock market's too risky. But you selling drugs.
That's what you call a paradox, right?
Like, all right, so what's more risky? You're about to go to jail or investing your money in the stock market? So that's how uneducated we are. So that type of stuff needs to go to the forefront, and getting the school to supplement the regular BS that they teach us, which I don't know how that would help us. Teaching us Christopher Columbus discovered America, besides programming. You know what I'm saying? How that's teaching you to become a better worker.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What else?
And
What else
then,
do you learn in school? Besides, I mean, mathematics is cool, but I mean,
yeah, I mean,
social studies.
go on. So
Yeah,
I was going to say, algebra was founded in the Middle East.
right. So I mean, not necessarily. I want to say if you call the Middle East, Kemet and the Nile Valley, yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
But no,
algebra.
that was part of quote unquote Africa. See, that's the thing that I don't get. What's the middle? Where's the Middle West?
Yeah, America, right?
So I think the Middle East is a made up thing.
It is.
All right. So where's the Middle West then?
They use it for geopolitical purposes to be
Right.
able to. Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. I mean, I figured out something today. I mean, well, race simply means, especially in the United States of America, it has nothing to do with skin color. It's a group of individuals that's binded together or came together to compete against another group of individuals for resources and wealth.
And it's a race.
And it's a race. It's all it is because people from the Middle East are considered white people.
Yeah.
And Moors like myself are considered white people. This depends on where you're from. So some Moors are, if you're Alaskan Native, you're considered indigenous, and if you have tribal affiliation, considered indigenous. You're from North Africa, the Middle East, which my ancestors are from. I got on both sides from North Africa, Nigeria. They're considered white people when they come over here. So it has nothing to do with skin color. Absolutely nothing. People like from your descendant, they're considered white, but you have an asterisk. You're white, but you're Hispanic.
Yeah.
Mesoamerican.
Mesoamerican. Yeah, I got my DNA results back. I'm 50% Mesoamerican, coming from South and Central America.
Right. No.
A lot of old blood there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And what's the other 50% you say?
Welsh, Irish, and Scottish.
Right. So, but I thought you had Spaniard.
Spain is just a country, and so my blood actually comes from Mesoamerica.
Right.
And then from the Scotland and hill tribes of Northern Europe.
Right. But the point is that race has nothing to do with skin color. It's a group of people that got together and decided that we're going to compete against another group of people for wealth and resources and power and stuff like that. And so they chopped the people up into little bitty subdivisions. And if you buy into that, then you're subject to the contractual agreements that you made under that particular paradigm. Simple, but you could easily get out of that. You just need to proclaim your nationality. I'm out of that particular paradigm.
Yeah, we're all human, right? That's the whole goal is to be able to live on this planet equally, peace and love.
Ultimately, there's no race except the human race, if you want to get all the way technical with it. But some people got together and decided, all right, let's compete against one another.
And the problem too, it really grinds my gears because like the amount of time we spend on trying to fight each other, and because we're all one, right? So like the amount of time we spend fighting each other, we could be putting into so many better things to help the planet, help society grow, help, like we're talking about, education and future development, saving the planet, the trees, and all these things.
Well, I
It's
think
just
that's why Star Trek is one of my favorite, shows and franchises, because the only way I think we'll there is if outside alien presence is known and well known, and then we'll come together. Then we'll be xenophobic for other aliens as opposed to the race. Now we'll see how small we've been. We're talking about skin tone, and there's other species out there. I don't necessarily believe in that. I think that's a whole other discussion. But that's the only way I think we'll come together is if we see that it's bigger than our small differences.
Yeah.
And
I
think it's real stupid. I'm saying on the record, I've always said this. I think, and I'm gonna say it loudly and clearly, if you judge people based on skin tone, you're an idiot. You'd have you're in a small, lower frequency vibration, because why not eyebrow length? Why not nose length? Why not shoulder width? I mean,
earlobes.
Why not earlobes? Why not? Hey, our finger side. Let's put our fingers. Okay, you're different. Why skin tone?
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's the lowest frequency. It's the root chakra. You can't get past a difference in some other person that you're judging them based on, like you said, the most ridiculous thing, which is.
That's like, all right, we both have Honda Civics, but you have a red Honda Civic, and mine is blue, so we're different. That's how stupid this is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but why not? Why is that the criteria? We can all the other things that we can use the criteria. But anyway, it's stupid. If you know what you really are, and you know that this is all a holographic universe, that this is like a big computer program. We're all cosmic entities. We're not the flesh. The body is not you. Why are you judging somebody on something superficial as the body when you know that everything is everything? We are everything. It's stupid. So you got to be on the base level, the root chakra inside of your lower self in order to cater to that particular paradox. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't even watch TV, like commercial TV, and so I don't watch the news or anything like that. So I didn't even know protests were going on until a few days after the fact. I know that sounds dumb, but I mean, it's just, right. I just didn't even know. I was just living my own life.
I got to show people one more time, man. This is my hat. This is black. My skin is brown. Look at this piece of paper. This is white. If you ever see a person with this skin color, run. Something is wrong with them. If you look at it, we are various shades of brown. Yeah. That's it. You got darker brown and lighter brown. That's it. Nobody's black. Nobody's white. How stupid are we?
Yeah, and it's just black and white is just 1 and 0, right? It's just they're the same thing.
It's a caste system that comes from Hinduism and that particular system is a caste system where the black dot, meant elite or untouchable. You were, a laborer or a untouchable. You worked in the tanneries and stuff like that. So you were born, and it goes about how you were born. So they're trying to recreate that particular caste system here in America. So people that you subscribe to that, the black and the white stuff. White means the landlord. That means the sovereign, stuff like that. That's something totally different. Nobody's black. Nobody's white according to skin color. How they mess it to skin color, and people can't see that? Oh, it's stupid. Mm-hmm. You can even see above Stephen Contreras' head right there. The Power of Ownership logo is white. His skin is brown.
It's true.
Wake up, Neo.
Mm-hmm.
You see, The Matrix has you.
Yeah.
Simplest stuff is that, man. Like, man, nobody's black and nobody's white, but we use this term all day, and we hypnotize. And that's what they call it, spelling. You casting a spell.
Yeah, I know. That's why you should always speak in peace and love. You know,
right? You're casting a spell over yourself. If I see somebody the color of this shirt behind me, skin color like that, I'm running. That would be a white man.
Or they have too much sunscreen on, right?
I don't know what they have. They have some kind of disease that I don't want to.
Oh shit!
You know, so come on, people. So I mean, a kid would know this. We've been programmed to thinking that we're something we're not. We're in an unnatural position. You know, it's simple. So again, I don't want to keep you too long. We're at the 40 mark right now. You know, please hit the like button, subscribe at Billionaire Loan Officer on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. We need more subscribers on YouTube. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna give my final thought. Go ahead with your final thought, Steve, and then I'm gonna wrap it up with my final thought.
Like I said, you know, a lot of people, you know, there's good cops, there's bad cops. You know, the whole world shouldn't be like that, but it's just how it is. And the only way to change it is to take action, you know. But, you know, you want to make sure you know what you're fighting for. You know, don't just burn down streets and buildings and, you know, just because you just want to feel part of the crowd or the movement. Try to actually stand up for yourself and try to fight for something you believe in. You know, I believe it roots down to education. You know, slowly but surely, just we have to educate. You know, we have to teach everybody how it is to be human and not divided. You know, the closer we are to being all as one, you know, is that the further humanity will go in 50 years than it has in 3,000 years or 4,000 years or whatever, you know, like, so we have to, you know, learn how to work together. And Nikola Tesla said one time that when the world starts thinking in frequencies and vibrations, we'll learn more in 50 years than we had in 2000s. So I like to use that metaphor just with, if we just let all that the pettiness and the lower level vibrations of race and skin color and hatred, and just learn to live with love and support, we would actually be in a lot better space than we are right now. So peace and love always, and that's what I have to say to all that.
Right. My final thought is, like I said, the mood all year, we just need to take action, is if you don't support us, then we can't support you. Simple motive. We need to start a hashtag. You know, we can't support you. For all the businesses that don't cater to our needs, it's not putting their money where their mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is, then we'll spend money with you. And we need to organize this. It's as simple as Instagram and Facebook. Organize, give out lists of people that want to get on. Give out lists of people that spend with us. And I want to see tangible evidence. I don't want to see, I'm down. I don't want no fist in the air type stuff. That's anybody can do that. Put some dollars in the pocket. I don't want to see I want to see dollars in the pocket. You know, so and I want to see dollars in the community. I want to see sponsorship of schools. I want to see sponsorships of roads. All these big businesses. I want to see this road was paid by Target on 8th Street or something. I want to see this road was redone by such and such. So if we can't get it from the government, we're not in that position right just yet. We need to get it from the private sector, and we're spending enough money with this private sector in order for them to kick us back a little bit in our community to make it up to par. All these businesses that's out of business with the tore down in the community. Why they can't invest in small stores or building it up? You know, we can do the same thing. So invest in people, invest in the hood, buy the hood, like Master P said, buy the block. Don't buy. Stop. We need to stop. This is what happened to us, and this is why gentrification is prominent. We spend too much time chasing outside our communities. If you don't like us, then why are you liking somebody that don't like you? You're running after these folks. Oh, they got nicer neighborhoods, so I'm gonna move on this side of town. So we did this in Houston. We said this before on the Power of Ownership podcast. Everybody was in the loop. We had businesses and all that stuff in the 60s and 70s. We thought the Caucasians and stuff like that, ICE was colonized. So we moved out to the suburbs. They moved out to the suburbs. We moved out to the suburbs because we thought everything was better. So they took out when we started moving to the suburbs too much. They moved back in, and we didn't abandon all of the businesses that mom and them gave us and all that stuff to live in these suburbs. And now once we gave that up, they purchased it back from us for penny on the dollar, and now they're building it back up, and now we want to go back. So we're doing this little hokey pokey thing. Why not just stay where you're at and build your community where you're at, and stay tagged and force people to come to you instead of chasing them? Simple as that, man. Stop chasing everybody. Make the best out of your community. And stop chasing I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna move here. It's better. No, make where you're at better. And people that don't support making where you're at better, don't support them. Why do you go way on the other side of town to get something? How are they going to support where you're at? We have to be more local and more communal, and that's the only way we're going to get it. And I'm about whatever y'all want to be about. Dollar-wise, I'm about it. Action-wise, I'm about it. Hit me in my inbox. Email me. Let's get into that. Let's get out of here. But I'm about action. God is a verb, so I'm about that. Again, go to www. Let me finish promoting. Let's get out of here. HOC Mortgage. If you're not getting your own property, you're not invested. If you're still renting, it's crazy. Why not? If you're in community, buy up your community. Right now, it should be cheap. If you're in a community that's in the lower tax bracket, stuff like that, buy it up, make it and build it up. Simple. It should be cheap. I went home again. My daughter graduated from college a couple of weeks ago. I'm looking at the neighborhood. All the neighborhood is like less than $100,000 houses. Instead of buying one house out and moving to Texas or something, you could buy 2 or 3 houses in Louisiana for the same price.
Yeah.
Fix them bad boys up, and now you got some 3 rentals. Now you can facilitate your home. Simple stuff like that. But instead, we try to bite off more than we could chew. We get this impossible house that we could barely afford, and if something goes wrong, then we have to give it up.
Or take 30 years to pay it off.
Take 30 years. That's not how you do it.
I know.
Again, go to my website, www.billionaireloanofficer.com. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have the financial advisors in my network. That's one of the things that's valuable about me. It's just not me that comes with it. I teach sales training. I got an extensive network of people that I could plug you in with that could take you to the next level. But you got to do business with me. I don't just say, here goes my network. Nah, you know what I'm saying? If you don't support me, then I don't support you. So that it comes with admission, and this is what it is. 832-775-8357. Call me 24/7 at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. You can reach Steven Contreras at Steven _ Contreras _ 90 on what is it, Instagram? And Steven Contreras on Instagram. Cash App us. I don't want to hear no excuses. We the voice of the streets. The Power of Ownership. $, the Power of Ownership on Cash App. And we're going to go ahead and take you out. We're going to see y'all next week with another hot topic. Probably a guest star and I guess another hot guest. Y'all want to keep us going? Cash App us. Remember, God is a verb and personal responsibility is your only savior. With that, I want to say peace.